Squash XLPRO is an elite team that work hard to train, play and run squash events on our journey to climb the world rankings. Like, subscribe, comment, pick up some of our merch on Teespring.
Well, we come to the last match of the day, a long day, plenty of matches on this court and other courts as well. This is the second semi-final for the men. Whoever wins this will take on Evan Williams in the final from 2 p.m. tomorrow. It's the PLACEMAKERS Waikato Open 2021 PSA Challenger Tournament. We already know who's in the women's final, and that will be Emma Miller against Caitlin Watts. That's at 1:15. And the battle here between the Chileshe brothers. In the white, Lwamba Chileshe, the slightly older brother, he's just turned 22, up against TEMWA CHILESHE and the black, who is 20 years old. And Hassan, what are you expecting from this?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, other than Evan, Louis would be the only player really who's had a comfortable run kind of coming through into the semi-finals. Like, Temwa had quite a hard, not physically, but mentally against Zach Miller, quite a hard match. Reason being, the rallies weren't really too physical, but Zach was on form today, played some good squash, very interesting squash, maybe got in Temwa's head a little bit, and obviously Temwa, having a hard match, will be coming into this match on the back foot, considering Louis would be a bit more fresher, Temwa is obviously a little bit more tired. But they're professional athletes, they train to be in situations like this, doing back-to-back. They train to be put under pressure, but...
Nice play, sort of the inside out from the body for Lwamba.
Yeah, it was a great shot. These two brothers obviously played each other quite a bit. They probably know a couple of mannerisms. They're always trying to keep each other on their toes. But they're quite good friends. More friendly than usual for brothers. Definitely. I'm staying with the Chileshe during this tournament, and first thing I see when I walk into Temwa's room is a photo of them hugging and holding hands after the challenger win. For the first challenger win for Louis, beating Temwa in that final. So they're quite good. But on court, obviously that all goes away. One man versus the other, and it will be quite interesting to see how this match plays out.
Well, there's certainly been quite close matches between these two. Temwa's had the better of a couple of matches of late, or this year that is. And good change of pace.
It's quite a, maybe not too intense pace considering what they usually play at, but still quite lively squash. Good racket prep there from Temwa, showing many options and punching it straight. Louis just looking to dominate the middle of the court at the moment. And there's the first call of the game.
Yeah.
And looking hopefully similar to the Evan Wills match, 1 or 2 calls maybe, necessary calls, but nothing too extra. Oh, great shot.
Go teams.
Powered into the neck there from Temwa. And it's something that he'll, when he gets the opportunity, hopefully he'll go for them. Considering Louis is a very physical player, the longer the match goes, it would suit Louis a little bit more, considering Temwa's legs are maybe a little bit fatigued. Oh, that's great. Good get from Temwa. Quite interesting there, Louis' length. Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah, the ball just fading away there. And both players just taking their time. A little bit of pace put on the ball there from Lwamba.
Yeah, just Temwa trying to get the ball behind Louis. There we go. Some of the lengths, coming quite short, maybe second bounce just behind the service line. Sorry, first bounce just behind the service line, with both players getting ready to cut it off. looking to maintain that area of control through the middle of the court. Oh, that was uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that hit the corner.
Yeah, it was across through the middle too, so like that's something that usually Temwa and other players of his level will jump on. Whereas that one, he punched it, but it just got stuck in the corner a little bit. Didn't have the same effect. And obviously seeing Louis with a little bit of a lead early in the first game. Not to read into it too much, but Louis looking pretty dominant here. But Temwa's not just rolling over one as well, considering some good length there.
So anyone can come through and let us know who they think will win, and don't say it'll be a Chileshe. That's a dad joke. So feel free to come through and say who you think will win this particular match.
That's a great kill there from Temwa. Speaking of dads, I wonder if Evan's in the building.
Yeah, a few.
Unfortunately, Evan rolled his ankle playing in the tournament yesterday, and he had to withdraw.
Yeah, that had some authority on it.
Tit for tat, eh?
Yeah.
TEMWA CHILESHE goes for a straight kill. And Louis just goes for the nick off the serve. Yeah, as I was saying before, Evan, I'm sure would like to be here, but he rolled his he sprained his ankle unfortunately, so I don't know if he can drive. But I'm sure he'll be sitting at home saying, you know, stuff like push teams and like go Louis. Quite a good squash dad there, as we can see from the talent of both of his brothers and the family. Quite a dominant start from Louis again. And almost in a similar vein to what Evan was doing with Wills, you know, Louis looks quite controlled, quite measured, you know, going for his shots, thinking, good movement. Putting Temwa under a lot of pressure, having the confidence to go for shots like that.
We haven't quite seen the depth of shots just yet.
No,
not really pushing each other back into the corners just yet.
No, there's a lot of stuff going on at the front.
Oh.
A lot of shooting going on, obviously.
From the serve in particular.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great shot.
That's a good play.
It's got a hold flick, that was great.
Well, he knew where Temwa was, so he was very aware of where he was, so he was able to actually put the ball back into the corner, check where he was, and I'll put it back there again.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, this is a lot of tins.
First game.
Yeah, a lot of maybe two of those were unforced errors, but a lot of tins coming from the pressure Louis is putting on Temwa there.
So a first game win to Lwamba Chileshe over brother Temwa. Just seemed a little bit sharper in that first game, Lwamba. And then up one low.
Oh, good hit, Louis. Oh. See his face?
Yeah.
I just think watching Temwa's reaction to these calls though. The first one, you know, getting a leg, I believe, and then looking a bit angst, and then getting another leg, and then giving a cheeky smile to the refs. Pretty obvious to see what his opinion on these calls are, right? Oh, great shot from Louis. Just carving it into the sidewall.
Got that 3-love buffer at the moment. And that's what he wants. He wants a fast start. I mean, we all want to get out to a good buffer, but he really wants to start this.
Oh, that was good aggression there. Good aggression there for Temwa. And you know, that just shows the extra level that these players can push to. You know, they play at a certain pace that we think is like pretty quick, pretty aggressive pace, and then there's that extra jump to when they actually go even more aggressive, like that little drive that Temwa did to win that point there.
And good to have a big crowd here at the Hamilton Squash and Tennis Club for the PLACEMAKERS Waikato Open. Certainly enjoying themselves. But they were making so much noise, the players in the previous semi couldn't actually hear the calls at all.
Let's go, teams.
Temwa just looking a bit more freer, a bit more confident, looking for shots to go in short. Something interesting to note after his game with Zach, Temwa commented today, he felt pretty nervous, not too confident to going short, whereas playing his brother Louis now.
See that hitting the joint, I think, and just
every squash player knows that feeling when somebody's hit, all right length maybe, not the greatest length, something they can easily pick off, and then it just hits the double nick, or even the first nick off the back. Very hard to dig out. Good aggression there from Temwa.
Yeah, both of them crowding around the middle there.
And now we're seeing the product of that pressure. Louis making some errors there. Forced errors, obviously, because Temwa's put him into that position. It's good to see Temwa taking the initiative during the rallies, looking for the volley. And it's forcing Louis to, be a little bit more careful now. He can't hit length through the middle of the court because Temwa's there to hunt it down. It's forced he's going to have to play a little bit better with his length, step up a bit.
Oh, that shot.
But it's a bit of a testament to Temwa to stepping up and taking those volleys.
It was sitting there at the right area for him to hit through it, and it was just a bit too tight on it and went for too much. Didn't need to quite do that.
And there's another shot from Louis popping out to the middle. See, so this game looks a little bit, Louis is under pressure.
That's good.
But that's a beautiful drop.
Being able to take the pace off there on the drop is a real skill.
He's very good at picking off anything that's given to him. Probably to his brother Temwa. There for Temwa to get out of trouble.
And let's see what he can
so
do.
Close to his legs.
You can see that Temwa is still using the middle of the court very well.
Yeah.
Hardly moving from there.
It's a good rally. Seeing the control shift from brother to brother. A lot of work going into Temwa's legs here.
He's got it. A very long rally. Let's see how the legs of Temwa in particular, see whether they can cope with this. But that long
Some
five-gamer.
squash coming out. And it's still going. Any lesser player would have not tapped out, but definitely would have given up on the point after some of these winners we're seeing. But obviously these and he ends it with that. We see all those shots as winners, but players at that level, those shots are simply there to put them under pressure, not really to win the rally.
So a good play there from TEMWA CHILESHE. Nice punchy forehand shots.
Some quite good squash there from Temwa.
What we're seeing is Temwa in particular around the tee, just a couple of steps back from the tee, isn't moving from there too much.
No, definitely not. He's looking to get a bit of height with the straight lob, but it's not high enough and not deep enough because Louis is looking that volley off.
Top of the tin on that one. Still a nice little buffer, nice little lead there for Lwamba. Now he's got the racket. A few
Bit of
brotherly words there.
That was Louis' reaction. He thought Temwa was going to swing and hit the ball there,
Yeah.
not call the stroke.
And
It's quite good to see, smiles on their faces even after.
Wow.
things like that.
it's one of those things, they know they're going to have to play each other a lot.
Amazing to see the class and the quality of squash coming out of these players. Oh, good lift. Very good lift.
Well, he's come back quite nicely now. As Temwa, who was down 4-7, now back a couple of points. Just switches the pressure around. He's got the momentum now.
Yeah, definitely.
Pressure now on Lwamba.
Yeah, Louis being put under a bit of pressure, under a bit of work. I'm sure Evan's watching this in a little bit of glee.
Whip that one across the court, Temwa.
He's some unbelievable retrievals. Oh, how's the rally still going? That's amazing. Oh,
Which way was he going?
this is some great squash to watch. Wish all of you watching on the live stream could be here in person to see this.
Yeah. He was going to hit that. Well, he was going to take his brother out with a blow to the head.
That just tit for tat, right?
Yeah.
Temwa nearly took Louis out, and Louis.
I can tell you what my brother would have.
Bit of a traumatic upbringing there somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, there's something going on. And all that effort of fighting back, he's just lost that.
Yeah, quite often as a player behind on points, when you see yourself come level with the leader, in essence, or come in the same score with your opponent, you often do ease off a little bit because you're under less pressure. You've caught up in points, now you can play your normal squash perceivably, but in reality, you really need to keep that same mentality through.
For that 2-game-to-love lead. The first game ball against the second. Just hanging in. That was a little bit reckless. Just wanted to finish it too quickly.
Yeah, it was definitely there. He had a bit of time. The question is, will Temwa keep pushing him through, make him regret hitting that tin on game ball? Or will Louis be able to close it out within the next point or two?
Chopping under that one. Slicing under it.
Good bowling there from Temwa, cutting off whatever Louis throwing at him. Oh, and he does that.
Slapped at that one.
It's definitely better squash there from Temwa in that game.
So 2 games to love for Lwamba. So Hassan, we're in for the third game and 2 games to love. Isn't that nice brotherly love they're picking up? His brother's record. Oh no, he's come out with another one anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you can't use 2.
One for the left hand, one for the right hand. I'm sure both of them are talented enough to beat at least D graders with their left hand, to be honest. Maybe even some low C graders might.
I'm sure
have
there's
a tough
someone
time.
who can do it.
I mean, it's quite interesting. Like, you do see players playing with both hands. Like, for an interesting example in New Zealand squash would be Cameron Jamieson, who was a grade for his right hand and his left hand because of the region he plays in. There's not many high graded players he's playing with B2s quite often. So the left-handed Cameron Jameson has a right-handed grade, so he plays with the right hand. And I think he's actually got to a decent grade with his right hand, something like just below B1. It's quite interesting. They definitely have the capability of playing with both hands if they decide to, really. But obviously that's not something really useful in the world of squash or professional squash as far as these two are concerned. Shooting from the back.
A long first rally, this one. He's going to make the first mistake. Oh, great play. That was a good point.
Yeah,
Took his time.
Some of the height these guys are volleying at is insane. I guess that's what you get from being, 6 foot plus.
Yeah.
Something not us shorties would understand. Well, actually, no, I'm 5'.
Well, you're not too bad.
Yeah.
You could be like Zach Miller. May not be totally tall, but he gets up off the ground.
Yeah.
Very well with some of the smashes he puts together.
No, Zach Miller's quite a fun character to play. Maybe not fun to play on court, but to watch is very interesting. Oh, and that ball just creeping into the sidewall as Lwamba swings. Ooh, lob serve. That's an unbelievably tight ball.
There.
Louis being put under some pressure.
Yeah.
And Temwa just putting it away. What a cheeky little trickle boast.
Oh, gee. That's a real quick start for Temwa on this the third. Well, you wouldn't pick a straight game with these two, would you, anyway?
Nah, definitely not.
They know it's the last match of the night, so they know that they have to go minimum 4. That's the rule.
Oh, well. Hopefully not in Louis' head, who's 2 love up, but it's a good start from Temwa. I'm sure Temwa's thinking more than 4. I guess these players at their level take it game at a time, point by point even.
Lwamba really having to move a lot more in this third already. That was better play there.
Just working the ball in short. Very short, close to the front wall. Temwa having to take that extra step. Oh, and another shot from Temwa. Ooh.
The reflexes. Oh, not quite.
These reaction speeds. Oh, 6-1. Great start from Temwa.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's quite a good buffer now. It'll be interesting to see how Louis reacts after being 2 low up.
Yeah, something was said to him in the break, which obviously worked.
Definitely. It's good to see Temwa with a bit of a resurgence. And Louis just shooting and obviously tinning it, giving Temwa a bit more of a buffer.
It's a long way to battle back from 1-8. Oh.
Just playing a lead on that lift ball. Don't know if it hit the red line or not. I thought it was in, but obviously the players can see a bit better and the refs can see a bit better. Oh, another lob serve from Temwa.
Yeah.
It's good to see the intensity is quite high, even though the scoreline doesn't reflect it. Again, a testament to the class of these players. they're not the type of people to tap out despite the scoreline. Oh, it's a great drop.
So a couple of points here that have come back towards Lwamba.
Yeah, two relatively, not too quick, but the relatively short punchy rallies where Louis won the point. Obviously due to the buffer, it's not too much of an issue as of now for Temwa. But you know, a bit of work being put into Temwa and Louis as well. Oh, it's a great drop. Yeah, it's a great drop. Right.
Racing away with this particular game is Temwa. Gives one back.
And out. He serves on the left. Takes us 1 point for Temwa in the game, but Louis is still there. And there it is.
Finishes that one. And we are going for.
Well, that rule came in handy, eh, Dave?
Yeah, exactly. So going for here in this, the final match of the day, a very busy day indeed. So Hassan, we're back for the fourth. Well, we didn't think it was going to be straight, even though at one stage it was looking, 2 games to love, was looking fairly good for Lwamba. But a really good start in the third has kept Temwa in it.
Definitely, I mean, in games to 11, if you have a couple of short rallies, you know, a couple of unforced errors. Yeah, definitely. I think we all know who they're talking about, Joel.
So we're underway in this, the fourth.
As I was saying earlier, it's quite easy to, after a couple of unforced errors, a couple of turns, you know, 4-1 down, 5-1 down, becomes quite easy to let a game slip away, especially if the rallies are shorter and punchier.
Another good start. Just a couple of points so far on this occasion. Temwa very much a lob serve. Almost tripped, but
another good start from Temwa. Louis, if he's going to respond, he needs to do it nice and early rather than letting Temwa get a 4-love lead and a 5-love lead. Interesting shot, killed in the middle. Some nice solid squash here, nothing too crazy, and as soon as you say that is a bit of a boast, but very good structured squash. Look at him as a player around.
Slight change of pace. Varied quite a lot on this point so far.
Oh, it's there. Quite good court coverage by both of them. Oh, that's a very tight shot. Oh, Temwa was thinking of going through the legs there, I guarantee it.
At the moment, Lwamba just can't find a gap. Just can't find any way through. Well played. And again,
pretty important point, that one.
Big lead. Good play in the third and now the fourth. He's just put up a complete wall as Temwa. Bit of positional play in this rally by Lwamba, getting up closer to the tee.
Yes, looking quite hard to find a breaking point there for Temwa. Oh, it's good length. Temwa's just returning everything. Oh,
yeah.
Good pressure. And still, despite all that aggression, Temwa is still controlling his movement, picking the balls out, just looking to place. Again, another placing shot. Waiting for his opportunity. As soon as Louis gives him something, he's going to strike. Oh, another shot.
Well, a little bit of footwork seems to have gone.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Temwa looks, I describe it as loping.
Yes.
He looks like he's loping around the court. Not as tense. It's quite interesting, not as tense. But at the same time, stuff like that happens where you have to take an extra step and you don't, and you end up turning it.
There's a lot of effort for just that 1 point there.
Definitely.
And you're still 3 behind. Oh. So things not working at all at the moment for Lwamba.
Temwa just asking Lou if there's something in his eye. Feels like there's something. But it must be a bit of sweat. He should have brought his ninja unsquashable headband,
Yeah.
Would have stopped the sweat from going in his eye. The scoreline being 5-1 now for Temwa.
And what have we got here? So it's a little bit of an injury
Yeah,
break.
definitely. It might not be sweat in the eye. It might be something else because
So we're back on again after that little injury delay. With Temwa having a couple of issues. And there we go, blood break. Well, that's pretty much in your face.
Hello.
That's a big font there that we've got for the blood break, but that's all right. Yeah. And Hassan,
you know what that's
do you want to describe what occurred in there or what injury he had?
It was just Temwa's left eye was a little bit swollen because he bumped into Louis' shoulder with his face during one of the rallies. Initially thought it was a bit of sweat, but it is actually quite red. But it's not nothing too bad. Obviously, as you can see, it's not stopping Temwa from playing a bit of squash. It's just a bit discomfort. Definitely needed a bit of time to just figure out what was going on. It wasn't making sure it wasn't anything major. And it's quite interesting because he could have taken more time if he was looking for it, but he just once he felt comfortable, he came back straight back on.
Well, straight back into it, and very fast and furious rally. This time though, so appears to be nothing adverse, certainly against his eye at the moment. Let's see what he can do. Checking where he is.
Louis.
Yeah.
Tried to go for a master shot, eh? What's going on there?
Yeah. The enthusiastic crowd enjoying their night out.
As you can see, it's a lively atmosphere here at Hamilton Tennis and Squash Club.
Oh, that was probably Bruce Morgan, actually, making all the noise.
The Torvek Crowd, eh? That's all right.
So it's a long way back. 5 points for Lwamba. He's going to win it in 4. Otherwise, we're going 5, folks. And at this rate, it looks as though we might be.
Yeah, definitely intensity stepped up a bit. So Louis not just sitting, he's trying to put more work into Temwa. And Temwa just handling it. Oh, interesting there. Louis looking a little bit unsettled there with his movement. When the pace gets high, and then obviously they were smart from Temwa.
Oh dear. Just not going right for Lwamba now.
Yeah, it's quite a smart shot putting it down the middle.
Usually that sort of shot he'd play away nicely.
Yeah, Louis was expecting that.
Not coming off.
Rather than the shot in the middle.
Wow, what a turnaround so far.
It's quite interesting. Oh, great shot to finish on.
Well, that certainly says I'm ready for Game 5 because what a way to finish off Game 4. Well, it has been a long day here at the Hamilton Squash and Tennis Club. But most of the patrons seem to be enjoying themselves. If they're watching squash, that's great. Some aren't, but they're enjoying themselves anyway. And most of the noisy ones are definitely... good to have people enjoying their squash.
Well, I mean, if you're in a position with the ref saying pipe down, you know, it's quite good.
Yeah. I think we need some loud hailer for the refs to be heard.
This will be quite interesting. Let's see who can push their way into the final of the Waikato Open.
Who's going to capture this first couple of points and get that lead?
Good start is essential in this one. If you're looking at a pattern, the player who started the best in the past game, in the games during this match, is the one that's gone on to win those games. So.
That was close contact there between the both players. No complaints, but it was body checking.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of a decision players have to accept. You know, if they're going to play through the ball, they can't stop and complain afterwards that, you know, it was a decision. I mean, they've made the decision to play through, ultimately through the interference as well. So as soon as you decide to take an extra step and swing for the ball, that's you forfeiting your right for a call because you play and play through the interference. Whereas as you see in that situation, he put his racket up, couldn't hit the ball, called it. Very simple.
And there's some debate here from particular coaches as to which way the call, whether it was good or bad. One agreeing, one disagreeing.
Going off that, Louis just hit it out, so it must have been a stroke. The old squash ball. It's quite juicy though, this.
Yeah, these guys enjoying watching it.
Yeah.
And on the court, I'm not sure who's enjoying it more at the moment. Great change of direction.
That's some good squash. Bit of time, what's he going to do with it? Straight whack.
And Lwamba really checking his opponent, his brother. Where is he?
It's quite interesting.
Nice play.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to bring that up. It's quite interesting to see Louis have the opportunity to go for those shots that would put Temwa under pressure, but going for the cross and then Temwa just putting away an opportunity that's given as soon as Louis goes cross with the volley.
3-1, yeah, that's correct. Just making his little
Temwa
row
just
weight.
signaling to the ref to, you know, please control the crowd. And it's quite nice to see you know, the cooperation, coordination of the players.
It's a 4-1 again. And just seen Evan Williams walk back in.
But he'll be watching this with Lee.
Yeah, he's keep on going, guys. You can play 10 sets if you want.
So Temwa having good starts in this, but Louis not quite out of it.
It's tight. And just the momentum has just shifted so dramatically from game 2. So don't forget that it is 1:15 tomorrow, the women's final. Emma Miller from the club here, Hamilton Tennis and Squash Club. And she is up against Squash Gems Caitlin Watts. Really good match. A replay of the Royal Oak final. And the men's final, well, it's Evan Williams is through. It's still up in the air about who he's going to take on.
Oh, it's a good squeeze from Louis. He needed that point. It's quite interesting because Louis' prep coming into the tournament has been affected a little because he was sick in the weeks leading up to it. So his on-court time and preparation hasn't been able to hit much or train much leading into this. It looked like quite a clean pick up there for Louis. So it's probably reflecting a little bit in his performance, not being able to train properly in the lead-up. Whereas Temwa and Joel and all the other players really probably assuming
nice play.
Assuming they had relatively uninterrupted preparations for this tournament.
And just slowing down the rally again. Who's going to be the person to make the error? He's got it back there. Oh,
that was a big rally.
Yeah, that was a big point. A confidence point as well, because if he had lost that one, I'm sure Lwamba would have been really struggling.
Yeah, a bit of a difference between 6-2 and 3-5, obviously. Big point.
What's he got? Is he getting cramped? Okay. I'm not sure if he was getting cramped then or what it was.
It's quite a tough atmosphere here now. Quite a tense atmosphere, I'd say. Pretty crucial points, these ones. Uncharacteristic there from Louis. Pretty good work during the rally, and then both them into the tin. Not too sure what to make of that. Temwa just looking there. Looking there for a bit of a point, but Heather keeping her refreshing nice and consistent. I get the feeling there are going to be some very contested calls coming up soon.
You can see just a little bit of body there, a little bit of traffic in the middle of the court. And a bit of fatigue probably coming in as well, although both players very fit.
This is pretty tight. He dug that out quite well. Oh, next to the shot there, Temwa. And Louis just whacked it back to him.
He's controlling the tee very well, Temwa.
That's a very big point. It's a very big point. And ends on a let.
Oh, gee. It's taken a while, these guys. Wrong-footed there.
And that other shot just popping out of the back wall.
What are you going to call? Yeah, I'm okay with that. What about you?
Yeah, I think the line there was in front, but
Well, this match is just about to tick over to 1 hour. We're at 58.5 at the moment.
2 5-setters in a day for TEMWA CHILESHE.
Yeah.
Oh, he shoots. He shoots for that shot. He gets it.
And this will be the third match on this court that has gone over an hour. We had the 4-gamer between Wills Donnelly and Joel Ascott, and we had also the game between Tim and Zach Miller going around about an hour as well.
Bit of discussion there between the refs.
Yeah.
Bit of
Well, you know, they want to get it right.
yes, definitely.
And if they don't, they're in trouble with it. So, no problem there.
Well, it's a generic rule of refereeing. If you don't know the call, the best thing to do is play a let.
Yeah.
It's an option that doesn't affect the outcome of the game at all.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, good pick up.
Oh, that's good, man.
We've been all corners of the court so far in this rally. Oh, you're going to be happy with that one.
A shot.
And
There's some juicy stuff here.
you're going to be. As we hit the 1 hour mark as well. And what a way to win that point. Oh dear. So he just keeps himself back in there a little bit.
Oh, motherfucker. That happened, eh?
Yeah, that was just high risk all the way, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Gee, we've had a really great battle between these two. There's a very high serve. Oh, we got it back. Great turn.
Oh, it's a great return. Oh, another shot.
That's a good point.
That's great squash. Great to watch.
It was- yeah, there you go.
That's actually a pretty good throw, too.
Yeah. Well, hope Tim doesn't use it on his face like he did in one of the earlier matches. Wipe the court and then use it on his face. Not the healthiest way of doing things. He's keeping in there. Lwamba just still that little fraction behind, but staying there just to be worrying enough for Temwa.
My heart's in my mouth. I'm living with these guys. I don't want to know the atmosphere.
Oh. So just take a little look at this, and it's a tight call, that one. I mean, either way, I don't think there was going to be anybody happy. So 9-6. It's a great opportunity here for Temwa to just focus here. You can see Lwamba's not happy. No, definitely. It's bugging them. Go. Finally, at 1 hour and 3 minutes, it is Temwa winning. And so he goes through to the final. It'll be Temwa against Evan Williams in the final tomorrow at 2 o'clock.